Okay, let's cut right to it. If you've been researching real estate revenue share models, you've probably already been misled. Not by accident, not because it's complicated, but because a whole bunch of YouTubers are out there slinging facts that aged worse than expired milk. Okay, some of them mean well, but never updated their info after the last big brokerage shift. Others, they're cherry picking numbers to make their team look like a six-figured fairy tale, conveniently skipping over the fine print. So, if you're wondering how does revenue share work, or if you're trying to figure out if eXp revenue share is better than Reels, or if KW's profit share is even in the same sport, good news. We actually ran the numbers, like real math, not vibes. This video strips out the sales fluff and makes every model easy to compare. Apples to apples, not apples to ad copy. We'll show you who pays what, how many tiers each model includes, which brokerages have sneaky rules buried in the footnotes, and how much you could actually earn, not just what someone promised in a webinar pitch. So let's get to it. I'm Carrie Hill, lawyer turned realtor and eXp certified mentor. Join our eXp Realty sponsor team, Smart Agent Alliance, where we provide more free team value than anyone in the real estate business. Seriously, I'm not kidding here. Our record-breaking eXp sponsor team is growing every week. Learn more at smartagentalliance.com. What is revenue sharing and why you should actually care? Here's your no fluff revenue share definition. You bring an agent to the brokerage, and if they sell homes, the company gives you a cut of its revenue, not profit, revenue. That means before they pay for software, employees, or food at the company events. And yes, it can be really huge. eXp Realty revenue share paid over $200 million in agents in 2024. Even if you're not planning to build a massive downline of agents, ignoring what revenue sharing means is like ignoring compound interest. And it's the number one regret that shows up on every agent's wish I started sooner list. Ignore this opportunity at your own future regret. 2. Why revenue share income is a power move for agents. If your current retirement plan is keep selling until I collapse in the foyer, this section is for you. Unlike commission, revenue share income can keep flowing even when you stop selling. You know, like in retirement. Plus, at many brokerages, it even passes to your heirs. That's right, income from the grave. Try getting that from a listing. 3. Why brokerages offer revenue share. It's not charity. This isn't warm and fuzzy. Revenue sharing companies like eXp, Real, LPT, and Fathom outsource recruitment to you. You bring the agents and they bring the check. It cuts out bloated recruiter salaries and aligns incentives. If your recruits close deals, you get paid. If they don't, you get nada. Incentives are properly aligned. At eXp, teams like Smart Agent Alliance exist specifically to help agents succeed, which means you get paid more. Everyone wins. No, hope they figure it out energy here. 4. What you should actually care about in a revenue share model. Forget the buzzwords. You need income potential, not just slide deck promises. Brokerage stability, because if your brokerage folds, so does your downline. Recruiting freedom. Can you build your own value or just parrot the corporate line? eXp wins on all three of those, by the way. I'll show you in a second how its income potential is the highest also. Plus, it is the only public brokerage with 5 years of cumulative profitability. Right, the only one. And eXp allows agents to team up to build real agent attraction machines, like us, with exclusive value that goes beyond what eXp has. 5. Who are the big players in revenue sharing? Here's your revenue sharing comparison cheat sheet. eXp Realty. 7 tiers, 50% payout of company dollar, no fees, and no production requirement. LPT. 7 tiers, 50% payout, but delays revenue sharing for 90 days. And there's a bit of a charge. Actually, it's a fairly large charge. I'll get to that. Real Broker. 5 tiers, 60% payout, but adds $175 a year fee and a 1.2% revenue share fee. Fathom Realty. 5 tiers, 50% payout, an easier path to unlock tiers, but has production requirements. Keller Williams. Keller Williams is a profit-sharing model, not revenue share, which means it pays after expenses, not before like the others. Translation, it's unpredictable, unscalable, and impossible to count on. It's not just a different model, it's a different sport, played with different rules, and half the scoreboard is missing. So yeah, that's all we're gonna say about KW in this video. It just doesn't compare, not even close. 6. Why 7 tiers crush 5 tiers in revenue share math. If you and your agents each recruit 2 agents, a 5-tier model grows to just 62 total agents. But a 7-tier model, well, that grows to 254 agents. If you attract 30 agents and each of your recruits, again, attract just 2 people, a 5-year tier model has 930 agents. But a 7-tier model has 3,810 agents. Yep, it's not even close. 7 tiers wins by a mile every time. 7. What it takes to unlock revenue share tiers. Every brokerage makes you earn it. At most, you need producing agents to unlock deeper tiers. Okay, only Fathom counts non-producers toward unlocks. That sounds nice, but there's that little pesky rule that Fathom sponsors must do at least 1 deal per 6 months. At eXp, by the way, there's no production requirement to get paid. So if someone's producing, even if you're not, you still earn your revenue share. Now here's what most people don't tell you. Unlocking tiers isn't something you need to do instantly. Your tier 1 agents, the ones that you directly sponsor, it takes time before they bring on their agents. And then the next level brings on their agents. So while they are growing their downlines, you're still growing yours, recruiting more tier 1s and helping them succeed. Your downline grows outward and downward at the same time. So as more agents join you, produce, and build their own teams, your overall system starts to fill out and more tiers open up naturally over time. So don't panic if you haven't attracted enough agents to open tier 7 in 6 months. But if you keep at it, you'll attract the tier 1 agents you need, just as your tiers are filling out with agents. 8. Who pays the most per tier? Each company has its own cap, and a percentage of that cap becomes the revenue share pool. eXp, LPT, and Fathom all pay 50% of the cap. Real pays 60%. As an example, eXp has a $16,000 cap. They pay 50% of that cap back in revenue share, which equals $8,000 for the revenue share pool. By the way, if any of this information is the least bit helpful and saving you hours of spreadsheet stress, please hit that subscribe button. It tells YouTube this content matters, and it helps encourage us to keep this free information coming. YouTube is not paying us to do this. 9. What happens to extra revenue share? Most brokerages don't talk about this. At eXp, if there's unclaimed revenue share, like somebody who has no sponsor or an inactive upline and other reasons, that money is redistributed to levels 1 through 3. That can mean a 20 to 50% income boost in early tiers. What do other companies do? Well, we don't know. It's in the fine print that we can't see. But you want to know, does that extra revenue disappear into the void or does it go back into the pool? 10. Different and too uncertain to calculate. Here are the wild cards that could make or break your revenue share income depending on the brokerage. eXp's Fast Start Bonus. Agents can earn up to $4,000 per recruit instead of $1,400 plus that extra bonus, based on their first year with eXp production. It's a serious boost. But since we can't know how many new agents will hit that benchmark, we did not include it in our revenue share calculator or in the spreadsheet I'm about to show you. That's right, we have a calculator. You can find that on our website in Agent Tools. Okay, LPT Realty's 90-day delay. LPT doesn't allow agents to earn revenue share income during their first 90 days. That's a significant loss if you're moving over a team or planning a fast start. So beware, this delay isn't in our numbers, but it can undercut your early earnings. Production requirements. Some revenue sharing companies tack on ongoing requirements. Fathom, you must close a deal every 6 months until you've recruited 12 agents. Then you don't have to do that anymore. Real requires agents to generate $450 in company dollar every 6 months to stay eligible. So you're still producing. LPT requires $15,000 in production or in revenue share earnings. Either way, it costs you $15,000, so it's predictable, so our calculation includes that. eXp Realty, there's no production requirements or fees. You earn from eXp revenue share whether you're producing or not. Real's revenue share fees. Okay, as I already mentioned, Real Broker charges $175 a year plus 1.2% of all revenue share checks. These are predictable, so they are factored into our spreadsheet that I'm going to get to in a minute, but those fees do still eat into your bottom line. Fathom's Unlock Advantage. Okay, so Fathom lets you count, as I mentioned already, these non-producing agents to unlock tiers. That could speed up your revenue share model progression. But if those agents aren't producing deals, your payout's still zero. All of these factors vary so widely between agents and brokerages that they're really impossible to pin down universally. But just because some of these are really hard to calculate doesn't mean that you should ignore them. They're hidden costs and bonus opportunities in the case of eXp, and those things can separate a great revenue share opportunity from one that just quietly drains your potential. 11. LPT and Fathom numbers inflated? Likely yes. Both LPT and Fathom offer multiple cap plans to their agents. In our spreadsheet, we assumed that 50% of those agents are on each plan, but odds are most agents pick the lower cap, meaning less revenue share earnings than our spreadsheet is going to show you. 12. What do you actually earn? We tested real life scenarios with tier 1 agent counts from 2 to 30. We assume that each recruit recruits just 2 agents. We color coded it so that dark green shows the best earnings from a brokerage. Red shows the worst of all the brokerages. Light green and red are the second best or the second worst. And yellow shows the unlocked tiers, meaning the amount of tiers that are unlocked when you have a certain amount of agents in your tier 1. Let's go through those numbers. Okay, this is an Excel spreadsheet, and we ran all these numbers all the way from you bringing on 2 agents on your tier 1 to bringing 30 agents. And then we chose these ones to narrow it down, but they are literally based on when one brokerage is better than another one. So if there was a bunch in the row where these stayed the same order, we didn't show those here. And what it basically means is we didn't pick numbers that just make eXp look the best. These are numbers for any movement. So we'll start with the top one. You can see right here, this says assumption. So if it has something in orange, it's because there's some kind of an assumption that we had to make. Otherwise, we couldn't come up with numbers. And both Fathom and LPT are those ones that I was talking about earlier in the video, because we have to choose how many agents we believe are on both plans. And we're doing a very generous 50-50 because it's probably more like 90-10. That would be my guess. I think most people who go to 100% commission-based brokerage just want the 100%. And the next thing here, though, is I wanted to mark some things that can make these numbers higher. So, for example, eXp has this $4,000. I mentioned that you can get the first year. And Fathom has, they can open their tiers faster. That could make numbers higher. And then also the red numbers are things that can make it lower. LPT has this thing, you can't earn it for 90 days, and Fathom has this thing about having to do a production thing, 1 deal every 6 months. The other anomalies about some of these are already in the spreadsheets. For example, you'll see here, we always minus out the $15,000 that it costs you at LPT because it's a number and we can put it into the spreadsheet. Same way we minus out the fees that Real charges because it's a number. And then the last thing we put is these little anomalies. So this one has that you have to pay the $15,000. So it's an anomaly, but it's included in the spreadsheet. Anyway, over here you have the tiers right here, tier 1, tier 2 to 7, and it's how many agents you've recruited are in green, and then it makes the assumption that each one of your agents recruits 2 people. Over here you'll see the yellow, and the yellow everywhere are the tiers that are open. Anyway, I explained all these things earlier, but I just wanted to go through it again. So let's do the numbers. What you can see is if you do 2 agents and each of those bring on 2, at eXp Realty you will make $17,200. At LPT you will be losing money. They don't take that from you, but you haven't earned anything yet. And Fathom, you've earned $8,900 essentially, and Real you have earned $56.95. So you can see that eXp Realty is in dark green because that's the winner when you run these numbers, with Fathom in second place, Real in third place, and LPT in last place. If we go to the assume you do 8 agents, you have 8 tier 1 agents. Again, these numbers, let me roll this up a little so you can see it. So again, now here in this particular one, Fathom comes out first with $119,000. eXp is second with $107,000. Real is third with $61,000, and LPT is still last with $23,000 in earnings because of that $15,000 that you have to pay before you earn anything. So it's just lower. Then the next one we did was saying you have 12 agents, and in that one, eXp is first with $237,000. The next one is Fathom, $229,000. I am in the way again. So the next one is $92,000 for Real, and the last one is again LPT with $75,000. The interesting thing here, right, is these differences. They're starting to stretch out. It does have in this beginning phases with 12 agents, Real and eXp are rather close in price, and these are in what you earn, and these are really trailing. Now here's when things get really interesting. I mean, if you're going after revenue share, hopefully you're not going after it, to have a couple of agents. So now we're up to 20 agents here. But remember, we're still only assuming that each one of your agents brings in 2 agents. So if we were to assume that all your agents brought in as many as you, these numbers would way explode. Okay, so now we're getting into the big numbers. Let's say you brought in 20 agents, but again, we're still only assuming that each one of your agents only brings in 2 agents. So the numbers now at eXp, you're earning over $1 million. Now at LPT, you are now for the first time beating eXp, and you're earning $1.8 million. And then the other two have fallen way off the charts because, like I said in the video above, 5 tiers cannot compete with 7 tiers. However, that 20 open really gives all the benefit to LPT because that was opening their 7th tier with 20, and it did not open eXp's 7th tier. So that would be 30 agents. And that one now has eXp at almost $4 million, and now LPT is left in the dust with almost half as much at $2.7 million. And again, these two can't compete at all when the numbers get this big. And by the way, this assumption of LPT doing this good, like this good, really relies on us making that original choice of 50% of their agents being on the higher revenue share plan so that more money is available to be split amongst the agents. If you go to our website and look up the blog with the same title as this video, there we have in the numbers on, let's say it was all the minimum, that agents were on the minimum, and these numbers completely change. LPT no longer has the highest number. It is eXp that has the highest number. So assumptions matter. And I saw another video somewhere out there where these guys, did a eXp versus LPT, and they chose this purposely. They also assumed that their agents were all on the higher plan for revenue share, which is just highly unlikely. People don't go to LPT because they want to do revenue share. Even very few people at eXp are at eXp for revenue share. Very few. It's like 85% of agents are just producing agents at eXp. But everybody has the same cap, and so everybody gets paid well. It's not based on an agent choice like it is at LPT. So bottom line here, we've been extremely generous to put LPT as well as Fathom with these numbers of the assumption around how much is in the revenue share pool. The only ones you can really count on are eXp Realty, these numbers over here, and Real. But unfortunately, Real is a 5-tier program, so it just can't compete. Okay, eXp is the clear winner here. And guess what? At Smart Agent Alliance, we spend our time and our money for you to gain a passive revenue share. I know, it's crazy. Like, who else does that for you? We create and host your own recruiting webpage. We do your webinars and your one-on-one calls, and we provide your email drip campaign so that you stay top of mind. Plus, our team also supports your production and provides a community where you'll stay motivated, inspired, and connected, as well as all your agents. It's our exclusive package that no one else has, and we give it to you for free when you join eXp Realty and name us your sponsor. To learn more about eXp Realty and sponsor team Smart Agent Alliance, here are some more videos which should be showing right now. Thank you for watching and have a great day.